Ladies and gentlemen from government and opposition, what we've heard today from the government were the lame excuses supporting corporate interests of big companies and acting against interests of ordinary citizens, of ordinary small men. I will shortly try to explain you why this proposal is illegal, firstly, secondly, immoral, and thirdly, against world peace even. Let us start by legality. We all know that both China and US, which was mentioned, and all countries of European Union are members of World Trade Organization. For 50 years, these countries have gained on being the members of these organizations, and by becoming the members, they've accepted some obligations. And the obligations are: we want you to open your market to us, and we open our market to you, to all other members of this same organization. These are the rules. The government has not shown how in the world are they going to change those rules, or how are they going to convince other countries that they shouldn't boycott German products if we try to boycott products of other countries against the rules of WTO. We can be sure that China will bring in a suit against us, and it will win it. And it will win, it will be able to impose the sanctions against German products, and our trade deficit will actually rise and will actually hurt our producers even more, not help them. That's the bare fact of life. Secondly, it's immoral. For 50 years, we have profited from being in WTO by convincing other countries, mostly poor ones, that they should open their markets to us, and then the invisible hand of the market will play everything nice. It will help them become more competitive, it will help us sell them our products, and it will help them develop the economies. Now, for these 50 years, we've been gaining from this policy. Now the China is gaining from this policy, as the opposition has shown. And now the poor people in China are getting jobs, are getting even always bigger wages, because they're getting work, they're producing the products which are being sold in our markets. Now we are starting to lose in this game. And what the government says? Well, let's change the rules of the game, because now we don't seem to be winning anymore. Isn't that so?
What kind of work do they get? They do get work without fair payment. We only want the same conditions.
Okay, I get your point, but they are somehow glad getting the money they are getting. And the number, thank you. The number of people who live in the poverty has decreased rapidly in China since it joined the WTO, because more and more firms, more and more companies are moving their production there, and by keeping the rules of WTO, we are actually helping fight poverty in China. Of course, China is on other level, but how do we want to compare these levels? It's just like opposition has shown you. China is like United States in 200 years ago. It's a poor country which is trying to develop itself, and it needs to market its products, to sell them to the other countries. The boycott will only hurt them, and it will hurt the poor people living and working there. If we introduce this embargo, we will take the jobs from the poorest people working in China. And this will mean us throwing those guys out of the job and back into the poverty, back into the small villages they came from, and back into incredible, not working conditions, but into incredible unemployment. And the last point, why is it against peace actually? We all know that, as the opposition has already shown, the companies all over the world are interconnected with each other, and they are dependent on each other. And as long as there are common businesses, there's no need to make a war. There's no need to make a military conflict, because you can gain everything by the trade, free or not free, but you are able, there are some rules, and people are not dying because some government has to make some interest in some part of the world, and it's not able to do so peacefully, so it is able to strike against this country. Now we are not able to strike against China because our own companies will suffer under this. Therefore, vote against this illegal, immoral and unpeaceful measure, and let us not boycott China, but work with it. Let us not throw people out of their jobs, but let us create simply more places, more production places. Thank you very much.